So I say this all the time and I'm gonna keep saying this. You're gonna hear it again. I can take my measuring tape and see. And I think this could work really well. Now the bangs don't really want to go that way. And then you do have a lot of gold blonde in here, some medium gold blonde. Now I say extended because if it were not extended, it would stop right where the seam is here. Like I said, I'm actually really loving this. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and today I have a review for you of the new Posh Wavez by Rene of Paris. But before I jump into it all, I'm gonna remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. Now this week seems to be all about Rene of Paris over here. Earlier this week I shared about their other new style, Smooth Waves. And today I'm going to show you guys Posh Wavez. So they have just released two new styles in their Muse limited edition collection. And I'm wearing Posh Wavez right now in the color Bronzed Honey R. Now in this color, they say that there's going to be more of a rich medium chocolate brown, but to be honest, I don't really see that. What I see is more of a medium to light, almost honey brown. And then you do have a lot of gold blonde in here, some medium gold blonde. Plus you're even gonna find some lighter, cooler highlights kind of sprinkled throughout as well. And then on top of all that, this comes with a medium brown root. Let me give you a spin of this whole wig so you can see the style and the color, and then we'll get talking about it. So right off the bat, let's talk about the fiber. This is made with heat-friendly synthetic fiber. So I say this all the time and I'm gonna keep saying this. So if you hear me say this often, I'm so sorry. You're gonna hear it again. Heat-friendly synthetic fiber, especially if it is long, it tangles, it frizzes, and it needs your help with maintenance in order to help maintain the look of the fiber. So often what happens is as we wear it, as we comb through it and brush it, as it rubs against our clothing, the ends of our fibers are going to get frizzy and frazzly and almost like crunchy feeling. The nape and the area closest to your body here, that is also gonna rub and it is gonna get pretty tangly. So throughout the day, as you wear these long styles, you're gonna need to detangle it as you go, or else it's gonna get clumpy and tangly and frazzly looking. And then of course, like I mentioned, over time, the frizz is gonna happen, which means you're going to need to apply heat to that frizz in order to take it out. There really is not another way to take out the frizz. Like adding product to the frizz isn't gonna remove the frizz. Heat truly is the only thing that's going to get rid of that frizz. So on a wavy style like this, it becomes a little bit trickier to maintain. So if you are new to wigs, or you are not someone who's very familiar with styling tools, or you just don't really want to use a lot of styling tools, a long, wavy, heat-friendly synthetic piece like this is a little tricky to maintain. So I would grab a small chunk of this, take a hair straightener at the ends, and follow through with that curl pattern as I go to help maintain that curl and to get rid of that frizz. All right, moving along from the fiber, this is about a low to medium density. So we don't have a light density here, but it doesn't feel like it's too much hair. But you also, within this style, have permatease. So permatease is that short-haired crimping effect done to the root of a wig here that gives it shape, it gives it volume, and it also helps to disguise some wefting if your wig moves in a certain way so that you don't necessarily see through to your scalp right away. So you will have a little bit of extra volume throughout most of your wefting where you find that permatease here. Now you won't find a ton of permatease in the crown of Posh Wavez here, so it's not gonna be too poofy up on the top, but you will find it a little bit extra voluminous on the sides. And by combing it through, you can sort of tame it down a little bit, but honestly, as the day goes on, permatease usually ends up kind of puffing itself up anyways. But at the same time, if you really love permatease, you can work with it too, get your fingers in there and really use it to create a little bit more of that voluminous style. Now we do have a wispy bang here. It's really not that thick at all. It's at a decent length, but obviously it's a little bit longer than I might like if you want that straight across bang. So you can always cut it if you need to make it work a little bit better for you. It is long enough so that you could sort of sweep it to the side though, and give yourself that more of that side swept look. And you can always use heat at the root of your style here to help push it in the direction that you need. Now we do have an extended temple to temple lace front on this style, which allows you to pull it back and off of your face. They have added a little bit of that light blonde in the front here to make the knotting a little bit less visible. But what I do love about this color is that they haven't created the whole front in that light color, so you don't have a whole strip of blonde and in sort of like a rainbow or in like a band across. It's more scattered. So you do see a little bit of darker knotting, but there is also some lighter knotting within this color used up at your lace front. And then we're gonna have a wide center monofilament part, or it's even like a partial monofilament top. So monofilament parts often are about an inch or so wide. However, this one, it's a very wide center monofilament part. And it's, I don't know, maybe 2.5 to 3 inches wide. I can take my measuring tape and see. So I'm putting it right where the seam meets and then going to where the seam is here. Yeah, it's about 3 inches, just about 3 inches wide. So you have all of this space within here to part this wig, which is really great. So you are not stuck with a center part. You can make this a left part if you want, which also helps if you want more of that side swept look here. And then of course you could make it a right part. Now the bangs don't really want to go that way. So like I said, you might need to use heat to help get them to where you want to go. But let me give you a right part situation as well. So you can have all of the parts that your heart desires. Also, while cutting the cost just a little bit because it's not that full monofilament top. I don't like the side part on this one actually, it's nice. Now we have a little bit of layering within this style. I would say right here are gonna be your shortest layers. So you have a few inches of layering going on, but nothing above your chin level is gonna be layered up there. And now because we have this bang here, this could make for some nice updos, including a half a puff down. I think this could work really well. Or you could put this up in a ponytail or a claw. Clamp down, give yourself a little updo. And then you have the bangs here to kind of disguise that lace front if you want. And it just helps to make it a little bit more of that subtle look in the front instead of like a harsh pulling off your face. Sometimes it exposes the lace front a little too much in my opinion when you like fully bring it off your face. So for me, whenever I do updos of any sort, I like having something there to just help ease that transition. Anyways, lovely style overall. I'm really liking this, and I will let you know that it does fit pretty true to average. Just like the majority of Rene of Paris styles I find, they do typically fit true to average. All right, let me show you what this cap looks like, and then we're gonna call it a day. So here's that wide center monofilament part, which is kind of like a partial monofilament top. So if it was a full monofilament top, it would go all the way in this whole horseshoe here. It's not quite going all the way, but it's going almost all the way. So it's pretty wide. And then you have that extended temple to temple lace front. Now I say extended because if it were not extended, it would stop right where the seam is here, and it would only go to right about there. But they have extended a little bit and allowed that lace to gradually melt into your felt ear tabs here. And it's an open wefted cap, nice and stretchy and ventilated and breathable. You have your extended felt nape here for comfort, and then your Velcro adjusters. So you can adjust the circumference on this if you need to. So for someone like me, since I am a petite size, I measure 20.5 inches in circumference, I would bring the adjusters in a little bit because this does fit true to average. It's still a little bit big on me in the circumference. So that would definitely help make this fit me even better as someone who is a petite size. Okay, I think that is all I have to share about this gorgeous new style. Like I said, I'm actually really loving this. Now, obviously I haven't worn this. This is a new style, fresh out of the box, so I haven't given it a test drive or anything. I can pretty much guarantee you though, that just like any other heat-friendly synthetic fiber and any other long wavy style, like I mentioned before, this is going to frizz, it's going to tangle, and you're going to have to maintain it. And truly, that's really one of the biggest downfalls of these long, wavy, heat-friendly synthetic styles, and something that you either learn to work with and accept, or you're like, no, I'm not spending my money on that. I find those two types of people feel very strongly either way. They're like, yes, heat-friendly fiber all the way, that's all I do. And then there's people like, no, absolutely not. I am not doing that. I am not wasting my time on helping these fibers out. Anyways, okay, I think that's all I have to say, but thank you so much for watching as always. I hope this was helpful for you and got you introduced to the new Posh Wavez. And if you have any more questions about it, let me know below. I'm happy to answer them for you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.